Okay, so today we are going to be playing with alcohol inks. Now, alcohol inks have been around for a long, long time. They make their comebacks every once in a while. And I just thought I'd show you how to use this air blower. All right. But first off, I'm just going to show you a few things. So these are the cards we're making today. I am going to wear rubber gloves because it tends to be a little messy, and you should really use it in a well-ventilated room. I'm just putting my gloves on here. All right. Okay, so what I'm using is, where's my paper? Okay, so a little history of alcohol inks. They are, here they are. Now, they come in all sorts of colors. They come in brights and lights, and they come in earth tones. So there's quite a selection. We have a good selection here, and we can certainly order in whatever else you want. They also come in, now they come in pearl with a pearl finish. They come with metallic finish. And what's the other one they came out? An alloy. An alloy. But right now, today, we're just using regular alcohol inks, okay? There's also a blending solution. A blending solution lightens and moves the ink around on the paper. Now, alcohol inks can be used on any non-porous surface. So you can use it on a, we're using it on a, it's called UPO or Zodia paper, which is like a plastic paper. So it just sits on it. You can use it on plastic, you can use it on vellum, you can use it on metal, you can use it on glossy paper, anything that's non-porous, anything that that ink is not going to absorb into. Photo paper, it doesn't work as well because photo paper, the ink does absorb into it. So you want something that it sits on top, all right? You can use it, we're gonna be using it with rubbing alcohol. This is 99%. And the first one I'm gonna do, I'm gonna show you the traditional way of using alcohol ink with a ink blending tool. Now, this is just like your ink blending tool that you put a foam applicator on, except this is felt. It's a felt applicator, and I'm going to make a card using this. Okay, so my ink's got a little, all right. I'm gonna get my blues going here. It's more purple. All right, this is Pool. I'm just going to squeeze a bit on here. And there's a lot in the bottle, and they do last a very long time. And this one is Sailboat Blue, so I'm just using some blues. And I'm just squirting them onto my applicator. And this one is Turquoise. Onto the felt. Now there's two ways you can do this. I could add my blending solution now, or I can use it after. So I'm just gonna show you the traditional way that you would use your alcohol inks. So I've got it on my applicator, and this is the Zodia paper that we sell, but it's like UPO. It is an acrylic type paper, plastic. So you just stomp on your, and you kind of twist it around so you don't get a repetitive look to it. Do that. Then I think I'm gonna add some of the stone wash because it's got a bit of purple in it. So I can add it right to the same soiled felt. And I'm just gonna add that color. So you can see you can do different things with it because it reacts. And the neat thing too about it is if I don't like this, I can wipe it right off. All right, so there we go. Now I'm going to show you, I'm going to add a little bit of blending solution. Blending solution is going to move, and you'll see it, it lightens and moves it around. See that? So I can get my design going. And it dries very quickly because it is alcohol. Okay, so that's just that is just your alcohol ink using your ink blending tool. Now I'm going to show you alcohol ink using the sprayer or the air blower. This air blower, people used to use a straw, but they found the straw, because you're inhaling, is not a healthy way to do it, because you should never like put this in a spray bottle because it can be toxic, and you shouldn't blow with a straw. So they came out with one of these little blowers. So I'm going to show you how to work that. Okay, so now on this one, I'm going to use my blues again. This one you do direct. I'm going to do direct to paper. So I'm just going to put some dots on here like that of my inks, and maybe put another color. So I'm putting them right onto my Zodia paper. And then I've put some alcohol in here, rubbing alcohol, and I'm just going to squirt it to give it some liquid to move with. Then you take your blower and you move it around. See that? Isn't that cool? So you can do it hard, or you can do little like that and move it around. Now I'm going to add some turquoise here, get another color going. And I'm going to add some, do I have I think I'm going to add a little bit of patina. Okay, and I think I've got a lot of alcohol on there to move it around. So you can get all sorts of cool designs on this. But the effect is really cool. So this is short little squirts. I'm going to move it around because you can see it. You can also pick it up and kind of move it around that way too. You'll get different look to it. Or you can just keep squirting around. And it looks like I'm adding a lot of ink, but there's a lot of ink in these bottles, so it lasts a long time. So I can add a little bit of alcohol on that and squirt that around. So it's kind of fun to get different patterns. And I'm going to cut this down so I'm not too concerned about the edges. So I'm just squirting away. And let's see what else. I'm going to add some of this purple. I quite like this stone washed, it's called. So now I'm being very aggressive with my, very, very pretty. I like that patina too. Where is it? Right here. So I'm gonna add some of that. And maybe a little bit of alcohol to make it move. Turn it this way. And then when you're happy with your results of what you want, then you can just stop. So I think I like that. Okay. So there we go. There's my first one. And if you wanted to move it some more, like you can just dot some alcohol in there to make little circles whatever you want. See that? And then you kind of move it around like that. So if you don't want those, then you can add some ink to those. Like it's just endless. It's lots of fun to play with. There we go. So I just changed the whole look again, right? So if you want that squirty look, you really squirt down on that. Okay, so there we go. Okay, so there's my first one. I like that. All right, my second one, I put this through an embossing folder. Now you can do it after, but because it's easier for me to do it before because my machine's at the other end of the store, I just put it through first. So there's definite texture on here. See that? There's texture to it. So now I think we're going to use greens. So I have botanical, and then that patina, which I really liked. And what else? I'm gonna use a blue of some sort, stream. Okay, so there we go. Now another thing you can do is you can add a mixative. This is a silver mixative, which I can add to it. I might add that. Yeah, I can put it on here. So there's a little ball in this, and you do have to shake it because there is metallic in it. All right, so we're gonna start with some of these colors. So I'm just gonna put them on here. So that was stream. This is pantina. And then I also have some botanical. Okay, and then I'm going to add some of my alcohol. Woo! And then you can make it go around like that, see? Isn't that cool? And then you take this and move it around. You want to make sure you have a craft mat. I'm going to put some more pantina in there. You want to make sure you have a craft mat that you just use for your alcohol ink. Well, it will clean off. You just don't want to use like a white one or something because sometimes those stain. Okay, so let's just keep on going here. So direct on gives another different look to it. And I think I'm going to add some more stream. What color was stream? Sort of a... That's a pretty color. I like that. I'm going to add some more over here. Get some more of that going. And it all dries very fast because of the alcohol in it. There we go. Now I am going to be cutting this down, so I'm going to put a little bit of alcohol there just to get that white covered. Just pull it in there. So much fun. All right, and then I'll show you what we're going to do with this after I've cut it down to make my card. All right, and for my third one, I'm going to use even brighter, and what I'm going to do with it is after, I am going to, you could do it two ways. I could do a resist right now and I could stamp it and heat emboss it, or I could do all my alcohol ink and then stamp and emboss, heat emboss, and that's what I'm going to do, okay? Oh, I was gonna use my silver, oh well. Okay, so I'm gonna put these away. And now I'm going to use pink and purple. And let's go with this now. So I'm gonna put some of this. This is nice and bright, and I want a nice and bright one. And I'm gonna put some purple on here. This is called Purple Twilight and Raspberry, are the two colors I'm using right now. Okay, and then I can always add some silver here and see what happens. Okay, so now I'm just gonna squirt, and this squirt bottle works great. So I can actually get it going here. Look at that. Isn't that cool? So fun. And around I go. Now, if you want one of these blow things, air blowers, we can order them in. I had some, but they all sold out this morning. I might have one left. There we go. So now I want to add some more purple. I want a more purple look to it. So I'm just going to add some more purple. But you can definitely see that silver in there. There we go. So I'm just doing short little spurts of air on here, and you get that. See that? So you can definitely see the silver. Looks nice. I'm gonna add a little bit more right there. Very pretty. So you can also do things like create a flower with it. Okay, there, I quite like that. And I'll be heat embossing over this. I might want to get a little bit more in there. Add a little alcohol to it. But if you're doing it and just doing it with the alcohol, I would definitely recommend one of those little squirt bottles because it works perfect. Okay, I quite like that. Very pretty. Now I am cutting this down, but I'm just going to add a bit of purple there. I don't need silver, I can still see lots of silver there. Ooh, I love it. Very pretty. So that is all using just regular alcohol inks and this air blower by Ranger, okay? So pretty. Okay, I haven't tried this yet, but I've seen some videos. So they take this, I don't know, I'm gonna give it a whirl. I've never done it before, but what the heck. And then they add their alcohol, and then they go like this to make a flower. They're obviously very talented when they're doing it. Does it kind of look like a flower? I don't know what kind of flower this is, but I've never attempted this, so this is a first. All right. So there is my flower. Sort of got the, all right. And then you would take your green, maybe I'll use this green. And I'm just gonna put a dot there. A little bit of alcohol. I could have used a paintbrush, I guess, and made a, maybe I should try that. If I have a paintbrush here. No, I think I gave it to Brooklyn. Oh, there's one. Just kind of lower it a bit. This is really abstract. Make a leaf. I don't know, girls. Looks like a weed. Anyways, you can do stuff like that. I think it definitely takes practice. But there's my attempt at a flower. So you can do all sorts of fun things with this thing. There we go. So if I cut that off, that doesn't look too bad. Anyways, there's my attempt. All right, you could add some silver and do all sorts of things with that. Okay, now I'm going to show you a few other things we're going to do. All right, I'm just going to put that away. And I can take this off. Now to clean my mat, I'm just going to take some of my rubbing alcohol. Squirt it on here. And take, no, I didn't bring any paper towel. I would have taken a paper towel and just wiped it off, but I've got a wet one here, so I'm just doing that. And then it comes quite clean. Okay? And then I'll just set that aside. Yeah, I like having the alcohol in that little bottle because it doesn't smell. Okay, so see why I wear gloves? Alrighty. Okay. Now we are going to put our cards together. So you can dry these a bit if need be. I think this one, I'm just gonna dry it a little bit. It does dry. Now you have to be really careful with a heat gun on this because it's plastic. I think that's good. So this is the one I'm going to stamp on. But this seems pretty dry. Alrighty, I'm gonna get my okay, I'm going to use a background stamp. And the reason I'm doing this is because I want to show you how you can heat emboss with it, even though it's a plastic paper. I'm just going to put that on there, like that, and that here. I just realized I don't need this foam in there. Oh, it might help if I took this on. Okay, so I'm using a My Favorite Things stamp, background stamp, and I'm going to use Versamark, and I'll just stamp this on. So you can use any background stamps that you have, or you can create your own background stamp with your florals. Okay, so now I'm going to put that over. Oh, I need my little thing here. And let me see. I think I got it all. That's what's nice about this stamp platform. You can put your hand in there. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot my heat buddy thing. Jeepers. Annoys me, I forget that all the time. Okay, so now I'm going to sprinkle I'm going to use white. So let's hope this is nice and dry. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Okay, and I'll just heat that up. Now, when you're heating on Zodia paper or Yuko paper, because it's plastic, it can bubble. Okay, so let's just, so I don't want to get too close because I don't want it to overheat. Okay, it's starting to melt. And I'm wiggling it around here. There we go. You can actually see the paper moving with the heat. Okay, I think that's good. I think I got it all. Looks very pretty. Okay. Look. Forgot some. Okay, so what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to cut it down to make my card. Grab my ruler here. Oh, I can do this. I think I did it 3.5 by 4 3/4. Okay. So I'm going to do like that. And I can save those strips for something else. Okay. Got my card. And I'm just going to mat it on a black. Isn't that pretty? Put it on my card. And then I took a stamp that I had and I put "You're Never Too Old to Dream." And I'm going to put it right here. And I could put, I don't have my foam tape here, but I could put some top dots on that. I don't throw these away because you can always use the bits and pieces. Okay, isn't that pretty? And then I'm just going to put that right there. And there we go. There is card number 1, and I'm using the heat embossed white on my alcohol ink background. Okay, all right, card number 2. I'm going to use this. This is the one where I put it through the embossing folder. So what you're going to do with this is you're going to take some sandpaper. You're just going to sand the top. And what that does, any of the raised area, you're taking off the ink. So any of the raised area, you're taking the ink off and it's exposing the white. Okay, so you get some texture to it. See that? And then you can wipe that off with a microfiber cloth. And if you don't have a microfiber cloth, you can use some paper towel. Just take the excess off like that. Okay, so I'm going to cut that down. So cut this off, and I did it 2, 3.5, and oops. So there we go. So that looks pretty.
Oh, okay.
Very pretty. All right. And just put that right there. All right. Out of my tape, I'm just going to get a tape refill. so now I'll put that onto my card. So I'm using 5.5 by 4.25 cards here. Side fold. Okay. Whoops, this way. I like that look too through an embossing folder. It looks cool. Very cool. Now, if I wanted to touch that up, I would just use this and just tap it in there with some green on it. That's what I would do, but I'm just gonna leave it right now. Okay, now I'm going to show you this paper. Just one sec. Well, I was going to show you, but I don't know where it is. Anyways, it's white glitter paper. And actually next week I'm going to be doing some alcohol inks. I'm going to be using it because it's non-porous. I can actually put ink on it. Anyways, so I had some at home, so I just cut out my happy birthday. This is, I believe, a paper rose, and you get the offset and you get the words. So what I did was I cut out the happy birthday with the glitter paper, and then I cut out the offset 3 times and layered it so it's nice and sturdy and it sticks up a bit. You've got some dimension to it. Okay, so I'm just going to glue those on here. All right, so we'll just get that on. And I think I'm just gonna put it right the way I did the other one. I'll just put it in the center, like that. Okay. And there is that card. So that card is using the texture of an embossing folder and sandpaper. All right, so there's all sorts of things you can do with these. All right, now I'm going to take the one that I just did with the blue. And is this the one I did? Whoops. Right here. Now I'm going to show you another thing you can do, which I do a lot with my alcohol inks. So I'm going to take that off. I might cut this a little. 3.5. And what are you looking for?
Caroline.
Oh, and what was it?
Paper from yesterday.
So I asked for like a stamping kit. Paper that you showed yesterday,
Okay.
and there was something else that you showed yesterday that I said I would.
Okay, I'll be.
Let's keep track of everything.
I'll be right with you. Okay, so this is the leafing pen. All right, and so what I like to do is I like to take that leafing pen and I like to go around the edges. Look how nice that goes. See that? And it really does. Those are paper packs. So I just outlined that with my silver leafing pen. And I think it really looks nice with that blue. It's so pretty. And I'm gonna put this on. I don't really see any tape on there. Put that on there. And get the card. I'm going to take this one off of here and use this one. All right. It looks better this way.
No luck?
No.
Okay.
There. And then I took this word celebrate. This is my favorite thing word.
All right.
And I'm just going to put it like this. Like that. And I'm going to take my glue and glue that on.
I was trying to look and see.
So I layered this.
It was a birthday.
I think I cut it out 3 times. Layered it up to give it some dimension. It's a Jennifer McGuire thing. And then I'm going to add some little gems. Okay, so I'm just gonna put that like that. And then I have some gems in here, right here. I know where the paper is.
Yeah.
Carolyn, I can get you the paper. So now I'm just going to add a few little gems here.
So the stamp, you don't remember.
Yeah, so how, like I'm new to this.
And let's pick those up with my little
Yeah. Like
picker.
everybody, but I just started watching the video, so I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna do some stamps.
And there we go. And there's that. Isn't that pretty?
Yesterday, but,
Okay, so those are the 3 cards. So I used alcohol inks, regular alcohol inks. I used some blending solution on one of them. I used rubbing alcohol in my little bottle here, which works great. I used a Versamark. I used the Mix-It in Silver. And I used some little gems. And I used my little pencil picker here. Excuse me. And I used my leafing pen, which I love. What else did I use? I think that's... Oh, and I used my embossing, white embossing powder. So here we go. Embossed, regular, and with my folder. So those are the 3 cards that I made today. All right, I hope you enjoyed it. All right, so tomorrow, and of course I use my ink. So if you want one of these, just let me know. So this is called a Ranger alcohol ink blower. All right, because you should not use a straw. Okay,